case.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, hey. I am still in the office, so I was multitasking until the very last second. How's everyone's post-Valentine's Day going?
I found some Valentine's Day cards on my desk this morning, so it was very cute.
Nice. All right. We are right at 6, and I'm doing my usual Hollywood Squares kind of check for quorum. Might give it a couple more minutes. I see Stephen, I see Tiffany. I see Miss Kim. I see Lisa and Brent.
Is that
all right? We need one more person to make quorum. One more voting member to make quorum.
which TV show is that? Or Reading Rainbow? Where they would eat the
Oh, is that the one?
Romper Room. Your old
Romper Room. It was just a hair before my time, but I still remember.
That was I was on Romper Room one episode. I don't remember it, but you were too, Kim.
Okay, so now we have to find that.
I know, I've never seen it. My parents
I
tried
bet it's out there somewhere.
of the TV.
We can find it out there in YouTube land, I'm betting.
Mine was in the 60s. You won't find mine.
You sounded way too confident about that. Like you have gone to great lengths to make sure that no one can find that. All right, I want to give it, I know it's 6:02, and typically we start right on time. There's my friend, Miss Amy's here. So now we have quorum. Making sure I can count, double checking. Okay, very good, yay. All right, well, welcome all. Thank you so much for joining this evening. I would love to have a motion to call our meeting to order.
I will make a motion to call the meeting to order.
And a second for that. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. All those in favor? Fantastic. Now that we have a meeting that is officially in order, excuse me, when I'm at the office, I have 2 monitors, so I promise I'm paying attention. I'm just looking at the agenda too. Let's go ahead and make sure we have all had a chance to review minutes from last month.
Lakeisha?
Outside of that one, yes, ma'am.
I don't think that we have a note taker right now, do we?
I reached out to someone
Yeah.
as my backup.
I
Oh,
was
okay,
open
great.
doing it,
Okay,
Unless you
just
need,
wanted to make
unless
sure.
you don't want me to.
I think Miss
Keisha,
Tiffany.
did you have somebody else doing it?
No, I think Miss Tiffany's doing it tonight.
Okay, got it.
We're going to let Miss Tiffany have the honors this evening. So let's take a look at January 18th minutes. I didn't see anything, but I wanted to check with others. Questions, concerns, everything looked okay? All right, in that case, may I have a motion to approve the minutes for January 18th, 2022 board meeting?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
In a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Miss Amy. All right, all those in favor of approving the minutes from January 18th, 2022? All right, motion carried. We have official minutes approved. Next, did we have any community parents? Anyone who wanted to speak? Danielle, I know Nancy
People
isn't here,
to
but
let
you're my
us
backup.
know.
Okay. When Nancy's not here, those emails also go to Danielle.
I didn't get any.
Okay, that's fine. I know we had gotten a couple of emails. What about our faculty student presentation?
Yeah, so I invited Julie Naylor to come on tonight with a couple students to share a project that they've done recently. So she's just going to talk to you about it, and the students are actually here to do a really short presentation for you.
Fantastic.
Hi, friends. Third grade has been learning about immigration in our history unit currently, and we've been looking at reasons why people come to live here in America. And during this presentation, we asked for parents to, if we had any parents, we'd love to come hear their stories of what was their reason for moving here and what was that journey like for them. In kind of a greater multicultural theme. And we actually had a surprising number of parents respond. We thought we'd have one, maybe two, and we have at least 4 parents who have immigrated to the United States. And so 2 of those students have come tonight to share their parents' story. So I'm going to let Beckham go first. He's prepared a speech for us, and then we'll have Kayla share. Beckham, whenever you're ready, sir.
My mom Ella came to a Zoom and shared her immigration story with us. My mom grew in Ukraine. She shared that her school was really strict. They had to sit up straight at their desk with their arms crisscrossed at their desk. If they didn't, their teacher would smack them on the wrist with a ruler. When she was 8, her family decided to come to America. She was scared but excited for a new adventure. A church sponsored her and gave them food, clothes, and a home to help. That was very special. Now my mom is a great mom. She's an artist and owns her own art studio. I get to take art lessons from her every Tuesday. And this is the immigration story of my mom.
That was awesome, Beckham.
Yay.
So much. You did a great job. Beckham, you can stay and hang out and hear Kayla's story if you want, or you can go because you've already heard it.
That was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beckham.
All right, Miss Kayla, when you're ready.
Miss Julie, do you have the slides? Please.
Can you see my screen? I have the slideshow up for you, Kayla.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it like in South Africa? These are the animals. There are lions you can pet in the zoo. There are also giraffes and zebras. We usually eat curry and rice, and we have McDonald's there too. Our traditions for Christmas, we have these little pop things where one person holds one side and another person holds the other. And there's like a gift inside one of them, and they pull and it will pop open and they'll see who got the gift. And then we pray for good luck and other stuff. And then for our clothing, we usually wear these long dresses with cool patterns. And we have a sari that goes over our neck. We have these small, like, if you're poor, they'll have like these small houses. And in one of the pictures, there's like two houses. There are two houses, and they're fenced in by a wall because in South Africa there's a lot of thievery because a lot of people are poor. My mom misses my cousins, her dad, her mom, and her auntie, and she misses hugs from them too. That end.
Thank you.
Great job, Kayla. Are you feeling
Thank you
better?
so much. Well, you have some really awesome presenters. Third grade is quite different from what it was when I was in third grade. So this is quite impressive.
Thank you so much, Julie, for coming tonight and for bringing them. We appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kayla. Thanks, Beckham.
Thanks, Kayla and Beckham. Fantastic. All right, now that we've had some good fun stuff, let's move into the more adult business stuff. We have a budget update. Mr. Ben, are you on the line for that? I shrunk my little camera window.
I am here. Yes. How is everyone?
Good, thank you.
Hey, Ben,
Good,
do you
good.
want to share your screen or do you want me to share?
Well, you share yours. It's easier because I've
I've got it up now if you see it.
Okay. So one, I would like to, board teachers, let me apologize. I told you I would give you a copy of this ahead of time. I did not do that. Time management became an issue. So let me apologize now for that. But I did want to let everybody know, right now we're at a point in the season where We have a lot of fluid action going on with the budget. We've just received the budget templates for 22-23, which we will be working towards. We've begun that transition to thinking about next year this week. The other aspect is, in order to do that, we've been, as Robin mentioned last month, we're having to do a lot of reallocation of funding. And there were quite a few changes that she suggested. Some of those we have accepted, but they have not yet fully gone through that process of updating the budget. So there's really not that much change with tonight's presentation compared to last month's. Now, next month, that's where more of those big changes and suggestions that Acadia has suggested to us with reallocation of funding into more federal lines, that's where you're going to see bigger differences. So there's really not that much to report tonight. I do want to, though, let you know that we've received, you will notice with the total revenue, we're up about 110,000 compared to last month. That is due to the number of allotments that have dropped. And when I say a number of allotments, that is the funding that is provided to the schools through the federal government as well as the state. And those monies are made available to us at different times throughout the year. So that is where you'll see some difference. We did, like I said, a bit over 100,000 in revenue increase. With the reallocations that we have done so far, moving some items into different lines now that the funding is available. Last month we were just under 40,000. We had just under a $40,000 deficit in surplus, and you will see that as of January, I'm sorry, that was December's. In January's, we're a little over 175,000 with surplus. So making those changes as suggested by Acadia with reallocation of funds, as well as the money, the allotment drops and requests, we've been able to fill that hole where that deficit was. And that does happen periodically when we go through stretches of time between allotments that are dropped to us. So those are the biggest things that I wanted to bring to your attention tonight, is that we are moving forward with the templates and discussions on 22-23 with the remaining tasks for this year's budget, with the continued reallocation and truing up of lines to give us a better picture moving into preparation of the budget for next year, and then being able to project the remaining months for this school year. We are still on target to end the school year around 1.3, which is, that's a good place for us to be as far as the budget goes. So that's where we are as of the January budget update. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you so much, Ben. Sorry, I was doing one last look at the budget and I didn't have any questions on that. Next, let's just go ahead and move right along then, since there aren't any more questions on budget. For a vote on mask. I know that the board's received a couple of emails on that, but I didn't know if there was any feedback from health department or anything like that for us
Yeah,
to consider.
I can give you just one update. So the newest guidance is that masks should be worn in indoor public settings by all individuals aged 2 and older in areas of high or substantial transmission as defined by the CDC. And right now we're in high transmission. So the recommendation would be to remain masked for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I
Does
wanted to
anyone
ask,
have?
well, I had
ahead.
a question about the new guidance. So that would mean that if masks are no longer worn or required in school, but because the contact tracing is not happening, that classrooms wouldn't be shut down, just individuals would go into quarantine. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, you are. So I was going to talk about that in my director's report, but the other piece is this highlighted piece, that individual contact tracing and exclusion from school of asymptomatic people after an identified exposure is no longer recommended statewide in K through 12 schools. So what that means is that starting February 21st, no schools would be sending students home to quarantine that do not have symptoms or are not positive for COVID. So that means you would not be sending any more classes virtual.
So that's the latest, it reflects the changes that are coming up in the toolkit starting next week. Okay. Yeah, I knew that was going to be changing for all ages soon. Any other questions on that before we ask for a vote?
Can we just make sure, I always want to clarify, starting on the 21st, then I'm just trying to reiterate, if a student tests positive, they will be quarantined, but the rest of the class will not because of their contact that they had or anything like that. So this should be good then for, for those parents in particular who are concerned that that the whole school might shut down because of a couple of instances of I wouldn't say an outbreak, but in like an individual in their class has it. So then starting the 21st, then we have a procedure that will, okay, I just want to make sure that's correct. I see you nodding, Danielle.
Yes, that is correct. That's what it means. So if we had a case in a classroom, or even if we had 3 cases in a classroom, we would not have to quarantine anyone who is either, unless they have symptoms or they also tested positive. So yes, so this does address the concerns that some of our families have about their kids going virtual.
Thank you for that clarification on that. Anything else on masks before we ask for a vote?
Yeah, does the COVID ad hoc have a recommendation?
There is no COVID ad hoc.
Yeah, there's no more COVID ad hoc.
Okay, then, thank you.
All right. May I have it sounds like pretty much recommendation right now. We're just going to keep the mask in play, just stay in accordance with CDC, health departments, some of our community members. So if we can have a vote to keep the mask mandate for another month.
I move to keep the mask mandate in place for another month.
And a second.
I will second it.
Thank you, Mr. Chuck. All right, all those in favor of keeping the mask mandate in place for now? All right, motion carried. We will continue with the mask mandate. Now for the calendar for next school year.
Lakeisha, before you vote on that, I just kind of wanted to talk through it really quickly, just so people could understand the considerations and the changes. So I know that I sent it to you, but you might not know the background. So I just wanted to give you a little information. So some of the considerations are that due to the breaks that we added in for having more of a school year round calendar, we got some feedback on that the summer felt really short for a lot of the staff. And we also found that there was an attendance issue at the beginning of last year. We had a really different start date than New Hanover County. So there was about 2.5 weeks difference between when we started and they started, which caused some issues for us in terms of attendance. So people who had kids in both schools, at some points were not bringing their students back to start our school because their other child wasn't starting school yet. So it really affects us in a number of ways, including funding, because we get funded based on our first 20 days of school attendance. So one of the issues we were trying to address this year is to try to start closer to the time that New Hanover County does. Another thing we saw was that there was a lack of teacher designated work days for collaboration and professional development. We did a comparison. This is last year's calendars, because that's the information we had to go on. But if you look at the surrounding schools, you can see the total number of days, you can see the total student days. And over here, you can see required teacher work days and non-required teacher work days. So on the required teacher work days, those are days that you would do professional development, you would do collaboration, other types of work, business of the school. And what you would see on non-required work days often would be more choice for teachers. So that's when you might see at the end of a marking period, teachers having time to be able to do grading and reporting and things of that nature. So if you look, you can see that CFCI only had 3 this year. And if you look at every other district, typically you would see a lot more than that because of the importance of that collaboration and the professional development for teachers. So one of the things we're trying to address in this calendar is adding in days for that work. And another concern that was brought to our attention was that it was important for the school year to end on a Friday so that it did not interrupt camp participation. A lot of parents are putting their kids in camps. And so a request that we had from families was to make sure that we ended not on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday so that they could have their children be in camp. So we're closing in the start date. We're ending on a Friday. We're increasing the number of teacher work days for collaboration and learning. And we did move 1 week of spring break back to summer to try to have a little bit longer of a summer. And also it helps us with the start date and the end date. So I'll just show you the calendar. And I can take questions if there's questions before you vote.
So spring break aligns with the county still, though?
Kim, does the spring break align with the county? I think it does.
Yes, it does, Danielle.
Yep.
Any other calendar questions? All right, seems pretty straightforward. And you addressed already some of those questions I would have had about how it aligns with New Hanover County and our end date for the school year. If there's nothing else, I'd love to have a motion to vote for approval of the 22-23 school calendar.
I will move to approve the school calendar.
All right. And a second? Not all at once.
Oh, sorry, I will second it. This is Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. All right, all those in favor of approving that 22-23 calendar? All right, we have a new calendar approved. Thank you so much. Looks like we'll have something to send out to those new families really soon. All right. We're going to go into a closed session to discuss personnel. Before I ask for a motion to go into closed session, I want to make sure there was a breakout room already set up and all that good stuff.
I am actually working on that right now.
Okay,
If you just give me a minute, I can do that.
absolutely. That gives me a quick minute that I need. Just a
Okay. Just one more minute. I'm gonna drop it into the chat box, and for this discussion, Lakeisha, it would be helpful to have Ben Rose join us if that's possible.
Okay.
Okay, I'm dropping the link for voting board members.
All right. In that case, I need a motion to go into a closed session to discuss personnel with voting members, Ben Rose and Danielle.
I will make the motion to move into closed session to discuss personnel matters, plus with the invited guests.
And a second, please.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Chuck. All those in favor? All right, motion carried. See you on the other side.
Hey, Lisa, I made you the host because I wasn't sure if it would drop everybody off. Okay.